And Daniel Frankenstein, managing partner, Janvest Technologies. We're an active investor in the cyber area, and I am honored to be joined by Mark Gazit. So Mark, tell us a little bit about your business, tell us a little bit about your background, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, so I didn't do any work with the Checkpoint. Actually, when Gil established Checkpoint, I was invited to join him, but he said it will spend probably a year in his grandmother's garage, and I just married. I said it's not for me. Probably it was good for him and it was good for me. So after 6.5 years in the Israel Air Force, I was the first one in Israel that broke into bank accounts and get paid by the banks, which was a great business model. But then I decided to join two real companies, left what was called data security. I thought there is not much money in that, helped to establish internet service provider in Israel called NetVision. Some of you might know it. We sold it for 1 billion shekels, which in shekels sounds a lot, yeah? And then moved to United States, company called ThetaRay, voice over IP. Then back to Israel, a company called SkyVision that still exists, sells about $100 million in encrypted cybersecurity, satellite communication. We sold it to Disney family, so it became officially a Mickey Mouse company. And then decided to do some investments, which really didn't work for me. And then to a company called Nice Cyber Intelligence Solutions, made a nice turnaround. And really missed the startup business, so now I'm in ThetaRay. And what we do is we help industrial companies and to protect their critical infrastructure against unknown threats. And it's based on very deep academic research done by two professors, one from Tel Aviv University and one from Yale University.
Great, great. So that's really helpful. So, I think one of the most, at least helpful things for me is understanding what these businesses do for their customers, how they protect their customers, what are the unique aspects that they provide to their customers. So I'd love to hear a little bit about what ThetaRay does specifically for your customers. How's that a little bit different from, the other folks in the market?
Yeah, so we basically focus not on the classic enterprise customers, but mainly on what you today might call Internet of Things or Internet of Machines. 2 weeks ago, General Electric announced the minds and machines approach, which basically says that all the industrial machines will speak with each other. And if you think about it today, the world of attacks has changed. Today, hackers are not only interested in penetrating your networks, they're actually interested in stealing money from your bank accounts, if we go to some eastern side of the world. Or sometimes they're interested in breaking into your power plant and shutting down your power plant, if we go to the sort of the other side of the world. And I should mention Stuxnet here because there are many Israelis, and Israel has nothing to do with it. And what's funny about it is that still there are many companies, including Checkpoint, that will look at network traffic, while in reality, what's really needs protection is critical infrastructure. We take a very different approach. When we protect a power plant, and we do it for companies like GE, who is our shareholder, one of our shareholders, we look at information that comes in from the turbine itself. So we measure the speed, the velocity, the temperature of the turbine. At the same time, we will look at network traffic. It's still important. Cyber attacks might come through the network. We will read all the what's called SCADA commands, and then we'll catch the unknown attack. The same is done with financial institutions. We'll not only look at the network traffic, but we will look at the financial transactions themselves, the volume, the speed of financial transactions. In some cases, we will even look at the employee attendance data, combine everything, and then tell you that something wrong is going on. I know it sounds like magic, but we have a lot of research. Everything was proved mathematically when I joined the company. Now, a year after, it's proved, it's field-proofed as well.
Well, I think what's interesting about your business is, it's evolved ahead of the curve in terms of the threat matrix. One of the things that's very interesting about how threats have evolved is, hackers used to be guys in their pajamas sitting, on a couch in Eastern Europe somewhere. Now hackers have R&D centers. They pay people lots of money, and they're looking to actually accomplish specific goals, not just create problems. And in that light, it's important that you're not just protected, but you're protecting the right things in the right places ahead of the curve of those potential attacks. So, it's really interesting to hear about that. I wanted to dive back into something else you mentioned. you know, again, I'm big into personal stories. I think people's personal stories and their experiences play into not just where they are today, but also the types of innovation that they run after. And you said you spent a little time on the investor side of the house, but tell me a little bit more about what you missed about being a CEO of a startup. What did you miss about the startup lifestyle?
So first of all, there is a real pleasure in living in a garage, you know, and less pleasant flying economy, which doesn't last for long. But, you know, there was this dream, you build a startup, you do exit, and then you become an investor. I always was good in raising money, and my dream was to be on the other side of the table. So when I sold my latest company, Skyvision, we made about $110 in each dollar invested. I said that's about the time, and also my family really wanted, or at least backed about the fact that I'm not at home. And so I did it the right way. Like I brought investors, LPs, became G, and established a fund, and spent a lot of time at home. And 3 months later, my daughters told my wife, their mother, that the way it was before is a little bit better. It took her about 3 months to take courage to tell me, because she thought it's my dream. And I thought that that's what my family needs. So basically now I come back to what I really love doing. But the only difference is that my daughters and my family never tells me now, why you're so much abroad, because they know that the alternative is much worse. So
I think you're seeing a trend here. All of these folks, they start these businesses over family dinners so that they don't have to be at as many family dinners. It's an interesting, interesting way of it going. The last thing I wanted to mention, you have so much experience in the industry. You've been on all sides. What's the next threat that we're not talking about? Or after you sell ThetaRay, what's your next business?
I always say that my next business would be ThetaRay, but just the next phase. Obviously, it not always happens. But I think you know, I had the pleasure to be one of the pioneers of the internet. I still remember the days where people told me that the internet will never exist because there will be too much capacity, threats will be too difficult, or the opposite way around. And I think we're now facing the new era of internet, which is today is called Internet of Things. I very much agree that it's just another evolution of internet, but it's an evolution of type of revolution. Today we have 2.4 billion internet users. We have 4 billion registered users, but some of them has more than one mailbox, you know. And today we have about 25 billion devices speaking with each other. Probably we'll have 50 very fast. And I truly believe that this is an exciting world where machines speak with each other. How many of you have seen Matrix? By the way, the new product of G that deals with connected machines, so industrial internet, called Predix, they wanted to use Matrix. They actually brought Matrix artists or Matrix performance to play in the small commercial they've done. But the idea is the same. The machines will start speaking with each other. And I believe that this world will create a lot of chaos for companies like us, or for guys like us, people like us. It will also create an enormous amount of opportunities. So I definitely, about looking in this world of machines connecting to each other, devices speaking with each other, and this big challenge of who are we as human beings with all those machines speaking with each other. I think it's a great opportunity.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for being part of the Cyber Fireside Chats.